Finland's story begins as the last ice age retreated around 10,000 years ago, leaving behind a landscape of forests, lakes, and emerging coastlines. The first inhabitants arrived around 8500 BCE, following reindeer herds and establishing hunter-gatherer societies. These early Finns developed sophisticated stone tools and lived in harmony with the harsh northern environment. Archaeological evidence reveals the gradual development of distinctive cultures, including the Combe ceramic culture 5200–3200 BCE, characterized by their decorated pottery, featuring intricate comb-like patterns. These early societies were semi-nomadic, moving seasonally between fishing sites along the abundant waterways and hunting grounds in the dense forests. The Bronze Age 1500 to 500 BCE brought increased contact with other Baltic peoples and the introduction of metalworking techniques. Trade networks extended across Scandinavia, bringing amber, furs, and other goods through Finland's strategic position between east and west. The Iron Age saw the emergence of more complex tribal societies with evidence of fortified settlements and increasingly sophisticated agricultural practices. The medieval period marked Finland's integration into the broader European world through Swedish expansion. The Swedish Crusades, beginning around 1150, gradually brought Finland under Swedish control, though the process was more gradual assimilation than violent conquest. Swedish rule introduced feudalism, Christianity, and administrative structures that would shape Finnish society for centuries. The Catholic Church played a transformative role, establishing parishes, building stone churches, and introducing literacy. Bishop Henry, an English-born missionary, became Finland's patron saint after his martyrdom around 1156. The church served not only religious functions but also as centers of learning and cultural development. Medieval Finland remained largely rural and sparsely populated, with most inhabitants engaged in agriculture, fishing, and forest-related occupations. The Swedish crown encouraged settlement and granted privileges to established towns, though urban centers remained small. Turku emerged as the most important city, serving as the seat of the bishop, and later housing Finland's first university, founded in 1640. The Protestant Reformation reached Finland in the 1520s under Gustav Vasa's reign. Mikael Agricola, known as the father of written Finnish, translated religious texts and created the first Finnish alphabet, establishing the foundation for Finnish literature. This period saw the gradual development of Finnish national consciousness, though political identity remained tied to Sweden. Sweden's Great Power period, 1611 to 1721, brought both opportunities and challenges for Finland. The region provided crucial resources for Swedish military campaigns, while Finnish soldiers fought in numerous European wars. However, this period also brought devastating conflicts to Finnish soil, particularly during the Great Northern War, 1700 to 1721, when Russian forces occupied much of Finland. The Napoleonic Wars fundamentally altered Finland's destiny. Following Sweden's defeat in Salin, the Finnish War 1808–1809, the Treaty of Frederikshamn transferred Finland to Russian control. Tsar Alexander I established Finland as an autonomous Grand Duchy, a decision that paradoxically fostered Finnish nationalism rather than Russian assimilation. The Grand Duchy enjoyed considerable autonomy, maintaining Swedish laws, Lutheran religion, and developing Finnish language institutions. Alexander II's liberal policies in the 1860s marked a golden age of Finnish culture and nationalism. The Finnish language gained equal status with Swedish, and a distinctly Finnish identity began to emerge. This period witnessed remarkable cultural flowering. Elias Lindroth compiled the Kalevala, Finland's national epic, from ancient oral traditions, providing Finns with a sense of ancient heritage and cultural uniqueness. Artists like Akseli Gallenkallela captured Finnish landscapes and mythology, while composers like Jean Sibelius created music that embodied the Finnish spirit. Economic development accelerated during the 19th century. The forest industry expanded rapidly, taking advantage of Finland's vast timber resources. The construction of the Saimaa Canal and Finland's first railway connected the country to international markets. Helsinki, rebuilt after a devastating fire in 1808, emerged as the impressive capital city with neoclassical architecture rivaling other European capitals. Political consciousness grew throughout the century. The Finnish Diet, dormant since 1809, reconvened in 1863, giving Finns experience in parliamentary governance. However, the period of Russification beginning in the 1890s under Tsar Nicholas II threatened Finnish autonomy, leading to increased resistance and strengthening independence movements. The Russian Revolution of 1917 created the opportunity Finland had long awaited. On December 6, 1917, the Finnish parliament declared independence, with Per Evend Svinhufvud leading the independence movement. Lenin's Bolshevik government, preoccupied with their own revolutionary struggles, recognized Finnish independence on December 31, 1917. Independence, however, came with immediate challenges. Political tensions between socialist and non-socialist parties erupted into civil war in January 1918. The conflict pitted the socialist Reds, supported by Russian Bolsheviks, against the conservative Whites, led by Carl Gustav Emil Mannerheim and supported by German troops. The Civil War was brutal and divisive, lasting until May 1918 with White victory. The conflict cost approximately 37,000 lives and left deep scars in Finnish society. The aftermath saw the establishment of a republic rather than monarchy, despite initial plans for a German prince to become king. K.J. Ståhlberg became Finland's first president in 1919, establishing democratic institutions that would endure. The interwar period was marked by reconstruction, democratization, and the gradual healing of Civil War wounds. Finland developed a stable parliamentary democracy, with the Social Democrats eventually joining coalition governments. Economic recovery was impressive, with continued growth in forestry and emerging manufacturing sectors. Cultural life flourished as Finland established its identity as an independent nation. The 1952 Helsinki Olympics, though held later, were already being planned as a showcase of Finnish achievement. Education expanded significantly, and Finland developed one of Europe's most literate populations. However, geopolitical tensions grew as World War II approached. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact of 1939 placed Finland within the Soviet sphere of influence, leading to Soviet demands for territorial concessions. When negotiations failed, the Soviet Union invaded Finland on November 30, 1939, beginning the Winter War. The Winter War 1939–1940 became a defining moment in Finnish history. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Finnish forces, utilizing superior knowledge of terrain and winter warfare tactics, inflicted enormous casualties on Soviet forces. The world watched in admiration as Finland defended itself against the Soviet giant. Figures like Sniper Simo Hiei became legendary, while the entire nation united in defense. The war ended in March 1940 with Finnish defeat but moral victory. Finland ceded about 10% of its territory, including Karelia, but maintained independence. The experience strengthened Finnish resolve and national unity while establishing Finland's reputation for fierce independence and military competence. The Continuation War, 1941 to 1944, saw Finland reluctantly allied with Germany against the Soviet Union, seeking to regain lost territories. This complex period tested Finnish diplomacy. As the country navigated between German pressure and the need to maintain democratic institutions, the war ended with Finland again ceding territory but avoiding Soviet occupation. Post-war Finland faced enormous challenges, paying war reparations to the Soviet Union, resettling 400,000 refugees from ceded territories, and rebuilding the economy. Reparations, paradoxically, helped modernize Finnish industry as the country developed new manufacturing capabilities to meet Soviet demands. President J.K. Paasikivi developed the Paasikivi Line, a foreign policy of neutrality and good relations with the Soviet Union while maintaining Western democratic institutions. This policy, continued by Urho Kekkonen, became known as Finlandization, a sometimes controversial approach that preserved Finnish independence during the Cold War. The 1960s and 1970s marked Finland's golden age of economic growth and social development. The country developed a comprehensive welfare state, achieved full employment, and became one of the world's most prosperous nations. The forest industry modernized and expanded, while new sectors like telecommunications emerged. Companies like Nokia began their global expansion during this period. Finland's neutrality allowed it to serve as a bridge between East and West. Helsinki hosted the 1975 Conference on Security and Cooperation in Europe, resulting in the Helsinki Accords. This diplomatic success enhanced Finland's international prestige and demonstrated the value of neutrality. Social progress was remarkable. Finland achieved gender equality milestones, including universal suffrage in 1906, among the first in the world, and significant female participation in politics and professional life. The education system developed into one of the world's best, emphasizing equality and comprehensive schooling. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 fundamentally changed Finland's geopolitical situation. The end of the Cold War allowed Finland to pursue closer ties with Western Europe while maintaining good relations with Russia. The economic crisis of the early 1990s, triggered by the Soviet collapse and banking crisis, was severe but led to economic restructuring and modernization. Finland joined the European Union in 1995 after a referendum, marking the end of Cold War. Neutrality. EU membership brought new opportunities for trade, investment, and political influence. Finland adopted the euro in 1999, fully integrating into European economic structures. The transformation of Nokia from a forest products company to a global telecommunications leader symbolized Finland's economic evolution. The technology sector boomed, with Finland becoming a leader in mobile communications, gaming, Angry Birds, Clash of Clans, and digitalization. The country consistently ranks among the world's most innovative and competitive economies. Finland's education system gained international recognition through PISA rankings, attracting global attention to Finnish pedagogical methods. The emphasis on teacher training, equality, and student well-being became a model studied worldwide. Finnish universities attract international students and researchers, enhancing the country's knowledge economy. Social policies continued evolving, with Finland pioneering concepts like universal basic income trials, and maintaining strong welfare systems while adapting to globalization. Country consistently ranks among the world's happiest and most equal societies. Recent challenges include an aging population, climate change, and maintaining competitiveness in a rapidly changing global economy. Finland has responded with innovative policies, including aggressive climate targets and digitalization initiatives. The country aims to be carbon neutral by 2035, among the world's most ambitious climate goals. Today's Finland represents a remarkable transformation from a poor, agricultural backwater to a prosperous, high-tech Nordic democracy. With a population of 5.5 million, Finland punches above its weight in international affairs, technology innovation, and quality of life measures. The Finnish model combines market economics with strong social policies, maintaining both competitiveness and equality. The country's success in education, technology, environmental protection, and social welfare offers lessons for other nations facing similar challenges. Finland's history demonstrates the power of resilience, adaptation, and strategic thinking. From surviving as a small nation between great powers to becoming a global leader in multiple fields, Finland's journey from medieval Swedish province to modern European success story illustrates how geography, culture, and wise leadership can overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. The Finnish story continues to evolve, with new challenges including European integration, global competition, demographic changes, and climate change. However, the historical experience of overcoming adversity while maintaining democratic values and social cohesion suggests Finland is well equipped to navigate future challenges while preserving its distinctive identity and achievements.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more engaging historical content.